there's been a development in the case. You all know by now, just by looking at my title, you know exactly who I'm talking about and what I'm talking about, so there's no need to name names, right? Despite the fact that I don't agree with what this person did and I know that they're old enough to know better, at that age, they are also a minor. So, given that, there's only so many parameters I have to discuss this. Let's go back to the state of Florida. Okay, by now, if you're still keeping up with this story, you'll know that the suspect in the Orlando shooting has unalived two people. Now we know one was a college student who was fairly adult, and another one was a 25-year-old man out. All of them just wanted to have a nice night out. Imagine you go to court on Saturday morning, which is odd. I didn't know courts were opened on Saturday morning. I guess Florida's a whole different thing than everyone else. Maybe some other states, even in my state, it could be opened on Saturday. I hadn't checked. I'm not really sure. Imagine instead of showing up to court, you send your mother to do it for you. And as usual, she's gonna be your advocate, though you see the sadness in her face as if something is stressing her out. Obviously, when you raise a child and they act a certain way, you know they're gonna do certain things they probably have no business doing. So I can imagine this woman's stress. I have a great bit of empathy for her. That's going to be my caveat because it's going to get real dirty here right now. To the foundational Black American community, let me ask you a question, okay? And I don't mean this to be mean because this is my community, so I feel like I can ask this question regardless how offensive it is. Why is it that if our youth get arrested or they unalive other people for any amount of reasons or do something to mess themselves up? Oh, my mama, blank, blank, blank. Why do you think it is acceptable to go use your mother to get you out of everything? As if that sort of sympathetic pleading is going to change the facts. In this case, it certainly is not. And let's not pretend that this is not the issue. Most people don't have the boldness to say, I'm not going to show up to court. I'm going to send my mama instead. Because when you look in that woman's eyes, and I didn't put the pictures up because y'all know how I am about that most of the time. While she's empathized, trying to advocate for her son, you can see the stress on her face, as if what happened was something that to her was something that she almost expected, but don't know how to say she expected that behavior. This is a mother that went in the courtroom and could not even act a fool. She just looked so stressed out. You get to a point even when you're a minor that you know better, right? So it makes me wonder, and I should be able to clip this article, hopefully I do for you all. It makes me wonder, based on her expressions, how long she had been putting up with his nonsense, and if she was waiting for the time for him to turn 18 and get from up under her roof. Because your own kids can bring you to that breaking point. My issue is, why do y'all feel like your mama gonna get you out of stuff? I've sat and watched videos of verdicts with people, mama, mama. And then when they realized they could not touch their own mother because they were being sentenced to life in prison or something, they want to blow and go off. And everybody, I understand that's their mama. No, but they committed a crime. You get caught and they can prove it's you. You should reasonably know you're going to lose your freedom. Why is it okay for us to send our mothers to go and be our talking boards. And don't get me wrong, I've seen black fathers talk in court, but usually when these kids want to get out of things, they go send their black mother. Let's not pretend this one isn't racial, because it doesn't shock me that this kid sent his mother, who probably keeps up less trouble than him, in that courtroom. And you have to see this woman's expressions. It's hard to advocate for someone when you know that tragedy happened, and you know it's your own flesh and blood, and you know they're old enough to know better. Don't get me wrong. She made the choice, because he got in trouble and he's in juvenile detention right now. She could have made the choice to say, I'm staying out of this and suffer the consequences. My issue is she made the choice to put herself in it. Now, y'all will say understandably, because I'm not a mother. This is what a mother would do. They're going to advocate for their kids. They're going to plead for mercy and la, la, la. We can't keep giving our children a pass. The evidence is stacking up that he did this. And between this and the stress on that, in that woman's demeanor and in her face, you can tell that he just was the type of kid that probably caused stress. I don't know this yet. We'll learn more as the trial commences. And I'll stand corrected if I'm wrong. But let's be honest, some of you who took on the task of single mother, you might have one or more of your own children that, no matter how good you were as a single mother, they're going to go rogue and become everyone else's problem. Don't get me wrong, this happens in other communities, but because we have a prevalence of single mothers, it's just, I want to deal with the foundational Black American aspect of this. My opinion, she did what she had to do. I've never been a mother. I can't understand her position. But I'm going to hope that she can accept that her son, no matter how he was raised, made a decision that's going to change his life. So long as she knows she can't help him anymore, and he may be serving some significant time. 'Cause come on, this is Florida. She's not going to be okay. But what we have to start doing is recognizing when our kids get in this stuff and make them handle their own problems when they're old enough to know better. Now is the time.